Hey guys, I'm Tasha Ray and welcome back to Secrets of the Opposite Sex. We're back with my girl Dev. Hey Devin.
Hey.
And this week we have another brave soul in the hot seat. We have Mr. GQ. How are you?
I'm good. Thank y'all for having me.
Why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself?
My name is Quentin Thomas, but also go as GQ. I'm a music artist for One Day Soon as well as Jamla Records. I'm 35 and currently single.
So let's jump straight into it. So I know you have a unique perspective being a former athlete and now experiencing life in the music industry. So how do you think your career has affected your dating life up until this point?
I don't think it's too much different. I mean, because I do music, maybe I'm more in the public eye, but I feel like I'm kind of choosy and picky anyway. So I've always been that, regardless if I was playing sports or doing music. So I'm pretty much the same way.
Does it attract a certain type of woman?
It can. It definitely can. Just due to what you're doing, the spotlight, and some people just like musical artists, whatever it may be. But yeah, sometimes it does attract a certain type of woman.
Well, you said you were picking. You had these standards. Tell us more about those. We like those.
I mean, I think I say I'm picky and choosy, but basically it's just like I take my time. I don't rush into relationships, and I just try to get to know the person a lot, and really vibe with them and really connect with them.
So we have interviewed some other artists and athletes, and they told us that they've experienced some crazy DMs. So what is the craziest DM that you've ever received that's come to you that you want to tell us about?
Craziest DM. I haven't had anything too crazy. Probably just random nudes, or you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah, like random nudes or women dancing to my music in whatever at their house, whatever, like that type of stuff.
I like how you prefaced it with not too crazy, but just random nudes.
Not too crazy, just random nudes, not too crazy. But no, that's basically it. Or sometimes women will shoot their shot, but that's probably the most outrageous thing that I could think of in my DMs is just random news from people.
How do they shoot their shot? Like, what do they say? Like, what's the best one that you can remember that you actually like, damn, this might actually get a response?
The funniest, she said it just like this verbatim. She was like, I don't give a damn. I'm shooting my shot. Fuck it.
Oh.
Like that's what she typed. Like that's what popped up in my DM. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what popped up. But I respected it. You know what I'm saying? Like she was honest, but that was about it though.
Do you reply, or are you like, she's too bold, or she's cute, or are you like?
When it comes to social media, you see a picture first. You know what I'm saying? So of course you'll be attracted to somebody, or maybe you might not be attracted to somebody. But for me, it just depends on the mood. Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie. It just depends on how I feel that day.
So let's get a little bit deeper in your business. So what is the biggest lesson you've learned from a past relationship? Or if you've learned multiple, do share. We like to learn and grow around here.
I learned a lot. My last relationship was about 4 or 5 years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago. And it was a 6-year relationship. So I was with this person for 6 years, going on 7. I learned a lot about myself because I've never really had a lot of girlfriends growing up, like especially as an adult. Like that was my one and only girlfriend as an adult. So just learning, different things about a person, living with the person, communication, a lot of those things. And one thing for me that I learned is accountability. Accountability is a big thing that I learned. And I think it's like one of the biggest things that I use as a characteristic for a person that I'm dealing with, as well as just people in general. Accountability is big for me.
That's dope.
So what do you think is the quickest way to learn someone's true colors while you're dating them?
That's a good question. I think being around them, being around people who know them, sometimes even family, because, and the reason I say that is that those are the people that they're most comfortable with, you know what I'm saying? So somebody could be by themselves with you and be a whole different way. But when you see them in their own element, and after a while, some people hide it very, very well for a long time, in dating or in a relationship. So it just depends. But yeah, I like to see people in their regular element just to see how they are and how they get down.
Okay. We've all been there. Well, most of us. What happened on your worst date? Have you
I
had
never
many?
had a worst date, but
Okay.
I had a worst meetup. Does that count?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, it was like,
Under that umbrella.
the first one was I was in college and I was going through a driveway. It was actually Hardee's. So I'm going through Hardee's driveway and this girl is taking my order. So she walks away from the window and she comes back and she's like, "Do you have a girlfriend?" And I'm like, "Nah." I'm like, "Why? We want to know." So this other girl that was working at the fast food restaurant comes up to the window and she's like talking to me and she's like trying to exchange a number. So we exchange numbers. Mind you, at a drive-through window, you can only see a person like so much. You know what I'm saying? So we link up. Well, we're scheduled to link up. So she said she had got lost. So I was like, "I'll meet you about 5 minutes from where I was at." So I meet her. When I meet her, we both in cars. I still can't really see her. I see the same amount from the window that I saw at the drive-through window. So I'm like, all right, she was cute, whatever. Then we get to the house and she got out the car. And let's just say she was a lot different from how I thought she was gonna look. A
Uh-huh.
lot different. Like I love all women. Let me get that out there. But I think when she got out the car, she was a good 300.
What?
Like
So
a
you couldn't
good
tell any
300.
of that from. Oh, right.
I promise. It was just like it was the IG. It was the IG box. I couldn't see
Angles.
the whole get down. It was just the IG box.
Wait, I mean, but in her defense, before you tell the next story, because I want to hear it. So you went from the drive-through to the car to the crib. So you never. I mean, if you maybe like took her for drinks, then you would have seen you could have got her like a drink, but you went from the drive-through to the car to the
Straight to
house.
the crib.
'Cause this
Yeah.
happened. We were gonna go out. And I wind up having to go back to the house for something, and I was like, "We can go out, but I gotta stop at the house for something. Do you mind?" She was like, "No, that's cool." So again, I didn't see her. I didn't see what she looked like in the car, except from the drive-through window box. So she gets out the car, and she's a lot bigger than I even would imagine she was. So, and at this point, it's just not even by her size, but how I looked at her face and then the rest of the body, I was no longer attracted. So now I'm like, how I'm gonna get out of this? Because she's trying to like kick it. So I go in the house, and long story short, I pretend one of my friends got in a fight at the club. I'm on the phone. I'm like, "Man, for real?" I'm like, "Oh man, like I can't go right now. I can't go. Like for real." All right, so I hang up, and she like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And I'm like, "Man, I'm playing it off. Man, one of my niggas got in a fight, and I gotta go help him." I felt like Craig telling his dad he had to help. You know what I'm saying? Like me and Smoke got some shit. I gotta walk him down the street. That's how I felt. I'm like, "But no, we supposed to hang out, so I don't wanna." She's like, "No, that's okay." I'm like, "You sure?" Like, I don't wanna. And she went with it. And we both got in our cars, left, and that was the last time I talked to her or heard from her.
Fake the whole phone conversation.
Wow, ladies, listen to that because he even pulled the. You sure?
You heard it? Yeah, I did. I said, "Are you sure?" Like, I was really, you know what I'm saying? Like, "You sure?" Oh, man.
Oh, living life on the edge, because she could have been like, well,
Oh,
okay, what's the second story? We want to hear it all.
The second story was a college story too. And one of my teammates was on the phone with one of his homegirls, and they was about to link up. So I'm in the back just being funny. I'm like, "Man, she can't come if she don't have a friend. She gotta have a friend." So he's on speakerphone by this time. So she's like, I got a friend. She's here with me right now. So I'm like, "Put her on the phone." So we're talking. So I'm just asking her regular questions like, where's she from? What school she go to? And so again, I'm being funny. So I'm like, "Man, I don't have a picture." I'm like, "How you look?" So she's like, I'm 5'5", light skin, and I'm thick. That's what she say. I'm thick, right? So I'm like, okay. Like I'm gassing her up a little bit. Like, okay, we have to meet them at a spot away from the house. So we're going to meet them. We're in Chapel Hill. We get to a stoplight, and I'm in the car with my boy. He calls his homegirl. So he's like, yo, where y'all at? And they're like, oh, we're in this parking lot. He like, what parking lot? We at this light. She like, yeah, we see y'all. Another situation. So we look at the car. It's a girl outside dancing, but like sloppy looking, like not trying to be disrespectful, but like really sloppy looking. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, I look at my partner in the car in the from the passenger seat. I'm like, nah, I ain't doing this one. I ain't taking this one for the team.
Not this one.
Yeah, I'm not taking this one for the team. And so he pulls up to the side of the car. He calls his homegirl. He like, yo, come in the car. I got to talk to you real quick. She like, nah, we ready to follow y'all. So I'm like, bro, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I feel like she lied to me, bro. She lied. She's a liar, bro. And we started off on the wrong foot. She lied to me, bro. She doesn't look anything like she said she looked. Mind you, she already knew how I looked because she knew that we had played sports or whatever. So when he told her who I was, I used to have long hair. So she was like, oh, the one with the braids. So she knew how I looked. Man, we didn't let them follow us. She started talking so much shit on the car. Like, I didn't want to hang out with you anyway, with your skinny ass and your braids and this and that. So my boy in the car, he trying to hype me up to roast her back. But I'm like, nah, man. I'm like, let's go. Yeah. I'm like, but I don't want to mess it up for you. He like, man, I'm not tripping. So he like, yeah, y'all can follow us. He go down the street, they following us. He hit a right, hit a left, hit another right, and then just do like 80 and just left him. And she pulling up his phone, trying to call him. He wouldn't pick up, but yeah, that was the second story.
Oh no. That was very college-like. So yeah, those sound like
I've never had a bad date. Like I've never had a bad date.
Well, aren't you lucky?
Y'all have had some bad dates.
Look, you never had a bad date because when they get out of the car, you're like,
next. You don't give them the opportunity.
Right.
Straight up.
We had some psychos. Devin, what is your worst date story?
I haven't been on a date in probably 2 years. So my worst date story is probably when I first moved to DC, and I went to Ruth Chris after a pool party in DC, and I was drunk and he was kind of drunk, and we got into an argument. He was like, I'm out. And I was like, all right, fuck it, bye. And he was like, bye. And he walked outside, got a taxi and left. I mean, he paid the bill, but he was like, bye. And I was like, oh my God. And I had to eat 2 meals at Ruth Chris alone. So I did eat. One thing about me is I'm not going to get embarrassed, but I'm going to reflect. So I was sitting there like, oh my God, you really, when I tell somebody, like I learned that day that when I tell somebody bye, they might say bye and really leave. And he did. He was like, all right, bye. And I said, okay. And I'm like, he'll come back. And he didn't. I mean, I think we talked after that, but he really left me at Ruth Chris. I had like 2 braids in my hair. It was 4th of July.
I remember that day, Devin.
I was in a fucking bikini and Ruth Chris.
With the short. Yes, I remember that. And that's so ironic because that's the day that I met my worst date. That's the day that I met him, and we went on a date later, and he was like,
yes.
So that's a holiday. That's worse.
Yeah, it was like Memorial Day, and we were at the pool.
Yeah, Memorial Day.
Oh my God. And mine, like, there was a chick at the bar and she would not service anybody but dudes. So he was just like, I see her keep passing you by. So like, I'll order your drink. What do you want? And I was like, okay, but she's slow and it's packed. So, and this time I get his government name, like all his information, what he does. And he seems so normal. So I was just like, oh, by the time she gave me my drink, he was like, well, can we exchange numbers? Maybe we can go out later. And then a few days later, he hit me up. He was like, have you eaten today? And I was like, I was just about to cook. He was just like, well, where do you live? And I was like, oh, I'm in Arlington right now. And he was like, well, I'm really close to you, so why don't I come pick you up? I should have been like, no, I'll just meet you there. But I was like, okay, we'll just go somewhere in the neighborhood. And then he made the first comment like, oh, okay, I just Googled you. So it says you're 5 minutes away, but I'll be there in 3. I have the fastest car on the road. Who makes comments like that? Who cares? And he gets there, and it's just a Corvette. Maybe I don't know things about cars, but I was just like, it's a car. Okay. So we go, and he's trying to hold my hand on the way there. And I was like, I know you mentioned you were like a music producer. Like, have you produced music for anybody that I know? He turns up the radio, and it's like Kanye. And he was just like, and it was like all the lights. He was like, this song. And I was confused. I was like, hold up. I thought Kanye produced Kanye. So how you? Oh, okay. All right.
Oh,
long story short, we get to the restaurant. He was like, put your hands on top of mine. I got to ask you some questions. And my dumb ass, I was like, okay. And he didn't say nothing. He didn't say nothing. And I was like, well, what's the questions? He was like, I already asked them. I was like, to yourself? Like, you didn't want... I was so confused. And then when I got up and left, he was just like, you ain't that bad anyway, bitch. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to catch my Uber. See you never. I walked to the door, and he has the nerve to text me like, so had a good time. Hope we can hang out again, before I could block him.
Oh my God.
Psychotic.
Yeah, he was long gone.
Weirdo.
Did his name begin with a T? I'm just kidding. Did he produce Kanye's latest album? Because
yes. So that's what you want to say. That's what you want to say. Of all the people, that's what you want to. Okay. All right, you got it.
That's a lot of DC. I feel like everybody is trying to say that they did something better than the next person. It's like, okay, but like I wouldn't even care if you did produce Kanye. Like, your personality sucks.
Trash.
But
and you're crazy. You off your meds today, brother. I don't know what's going on. Fix it.
So, okay, transition to the next question, which is heavy. Why do you think that men cheat? And if you have ever stepped out in a relationship, what made you do that?
I think men cheat for different reasons. I think commitment, just interest in another person, boredom. Like I think it's a lot of different things. It just depends on the man. Me personally, like I said, I had one adult relationship. I never slept on her, and I never had sex with anybody else. But even in that relationship, I realized there's more forms of cheating, even if it's communicating with other women. I never went on dates with other women, but just like communicating with other women. And yeah, I think it just depends on the guy though. Like, some niggas that just cheat just to cheat. Like, some dudes will be in a relationship with a girl and not really like the girl. They might just like the sex, or they might just like how she looks, but they don't really have an attraction, and they might have an attraction to somebody else. Then some niggas just cheat. Like, that's just what they do. It's like a hobby for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they do.
Not a hobby. That was.
I mean, some. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
real. I mean,
it's just real though. You know.
Yeah, we might have met a couple. Okay, so let's say hypothetically you're in a relationship. If you're out with your girlfriend and you run into someone that she slept with in the past, would you want to know?
No, I wouldn't want to. I mean, I wouldn't want to know. Like, I feel I'm a pretty secure person, and I don't really need to know everybody you talk to, everybody you mess with. If you wind up telling me, that's cool, but no, I'm not that type of dude. I don't really. Whatever's in the past is in the past. If we rocking, so I don't really trip off that.
Okay, if the shoe was on the other foot and she wanted to know, would that bother you, and would you actually like oblige her and actually do it?
No, it wouldn't bother me, but like I said earlier about what I learned from my last relationship, and I think it's very important that you introduce your girlfriend or boyfriend, whomever, to people that you are cool with, platonic. Because I feel like that fucked me up sometimes, because I have a lot of homegirls that I grew up with, went to school with, whatever. And a lot of them are just platonic homegirls. We never messed around. But if you have a certain relationship with a girl and you're in a relationship, she's not gonna know what that is. She just see y'all texting or y'all talking or y'all real cool. So that's something I learned in my last relationship. Like, all right, this next relationship or whenever I get in another relationship, this such and such, we went to school together. She, you know what I'm saying? We cool, blase, blase. But if it comes to somebody you slept with though, I think that kind of just depends. But like I said, I don't really trip off. I don't really don't trip off knowing who she's been with in the past. It's not a
Hold
big
on,
deal.
you said it kind of just depends. What does it depend on?
I think it just depends on the person because some people will be out in public and I don't know if you guys have, but I've been with women like on a date before and we've been out and we've ran into people or we've ran into dudes that they've messed with in the past. They didn't say anything right then and there, but it was just their body language, their mannerisms. I could tell, you know, and later, you know, she came out and said that they used to talk and she said she didn't say anything because she thought she didn't know how I would respond to it or react to it, but
yeah,
I wasn't tripping. Like we weren't in a relationship, so I wasn't tripping like that.
Would you have tripped if you were in a relationship?
Nah, I don't think I would have tripped. I basically, and again, like I just feel like I'm a different dude because I know a lot of dudes that they'll trip off any and everything. Like I've gone to the club before, I've gone to a lounge before, been on a date, and the woman I'm with goes to the restroom. We might be with a group of people. She might go to the bar with her other homegirl. And you see a dude holla at basically how she reacts to it. You know what I'm saying? Because if she's attractive, you're not gonna be the only dude that's attracted to her. So somebody else gonna be attracted to her. You know what I'm saying? I feel like as long as it's respect, while you guys are out or wherever you are, it's cool.
I've been single for a long time, so maybe I'm not the right person to ask, but if I walk into a place and I'm with somebody that looks good, they're looking at us. They know who I came in with. If he walks to the restroom alone and a girl tries to talk to him, I'm gonna break a bottle over her head because
Oh
she's
my God.
with him. And she knows. I think that is just as much disrespect towards you. No, I think they know. What do you think, Tasha?
Plotting. No, I totally agree. I don't know about the bus and the bottle, but yeah, you know, a little far from me. But yeah,
Right?
that's jail. But you know, other than that, I
People
totally
do plot. People definitely do plot. Yeah, I agree with you.
for sure.
So while you're getting to know someone, before we segue into the red flag game, while you're getting to know someone, what is something that you would consider a red flag or like a deal breaker, like instantly?
Somebody that talks too much or talks too much about themselves.
Oh, that's a new one. We haven't heard that one.
That's good. That's one for me.
Yeah, like somebody because like I'm a laid back person. I mean I'm a jokester. I crack jokes with people I'm cool with, but I don't have to always talk. So I think I'm a good listener. But somebody that always is talking about themselves or somebody that always thinks they're right, that's a big red flag for me because like I said, accountability is big to me. So if you feel like you always right, that's gonna let me know that when you are wrong, you're not gonna say that shit. You gonna find some way to get up out of it. So I mean, I probably have others, but those are two big ones.
That's real. All right. Well, that brings us straight into our red flag game. So we're going to ask you 5 questions, 5 different scenarios, and you let us know if this is a red flag for you or not. So the first one is if your partner wants the passcode to your phone, is that a red flag?
Yes. Why do you want the passcode to my phone? Do I get the passcode to her phone?
I mean, maybe that's a stipulation. Is that what needs to happen for her to have access to yours?
No, but I feel it's the reason I say it's a red flag because if we're just hanging out and you're like, oh, we start talking and you're like, I need the code to your phone. You already don't trust me. You already don't trust me. Already. So no matter what I do and no matter, you know, how we move or whatever together as a couple or item, you're always gonna think something. And I always say, if you look for something, you're gonna find something. No matter where, you know what I'm saying? It could be 2 years ago, a couple months ago before we started talking, but you look for something, you're gonna find something.
Do you think there's a point in a relationship where it wouldn't be a big deal, like to share your phone code?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like at a point in a relationship, again, depending on the person, it might not be a big deal. But for me, maybe it's just because I'm not a person that's gonna ask for your code, and I'm not gonna go through your phone. Like that's just not me. Like if I trust you, I trust you. If you doing whatever you doing, just be great at it. If you sneaking around, just be great at it. Like that's the best I can say, because I'm not gonna try to catch you in something every day we're together. You know what I'm saying? Like that's pointless to me, being in a relationship and I'm trying to find out you doing some shit to me. Like, nah. So it's a red flag because already you don't trust me.
What if your partner wants to know your body count?
My body count? I don't even know my body count.
Lost count a long time ago. How that work?
I mean,
Yeah, average.
yeah, I just never was like, oh, yeah. Do niggas have like a notebook like they go to after and be like, that's 54? I don't really know.
Maybe like a mental checklist or a whereabout. Like, we about around 100. Like, I don't know,
Yeah, I don't know. I think that kind of question is still like, I say trust too, because it's like, why does that even matter? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're dealing with me, you're dealing with me. I'm not going to get in a relationship with somebody, and before we get in a relationship, I'm like, so, you're got a great personality, look good, great person. How many people you slept with? Like, that'll depend if we're going to continue this shit. Like, hell no. Like, you feel me? Like, for me, as long as I know you weren't with somebody that I was close with and like in a real relationship, like I try to respect that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always been like that. I've had a girl who used to be in a relationship, like a long time relationship with one of my close friends that I grew up with, like it's like family. And they had broke up maybe weeks, not even a month later, she was shooting her shot at me. But I know hella dudes, they'll bite on stuff like that because to them, you know what I'm saying? Like, they'll have sex or they don't care about the niggas. So they're like,
that shows their character. Right. Like, yeah.
Especially if I know that he really, really cared about this person. Like, nah, that's off limits. I ain't gonna do it.
Yeah.
Like the dude ask you your body count, what you tell him?
If it wasn't snapping, it didn't count. So I have a low body count. But about the friend thing, I'm the same. Like I cast a wide net. Like if I dated somebody in this circle, not even friends, if they know each other, I don't like to co-mingle like that. That's why I try to be picky and choose wisely the first time.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
I wish somebody would ask me, like, grow up.
Right.
Has anybody ever asked you? Has anybody ever?
Oh my gosh, all the time. Like, and that's the funny part. I think men are nosier than women. Like, I feel like women get a bad rap of, but I've had so many men try to figure out my life before I met them. Like, why does it even matter? Do you like me? Do you like me? Like, I mess with your friends, you still like me. Like, that's all we need to know. Mind your business. Be grown. Okay, so if your girl has more close male friends than girlfriends that she spends a lot of time with alone, is that a red flag? Oh, there's a pause there.
Yeah. I say it's tough because in that situation, I feel if you like somebody, you're gonna have some type of jealousy in you if they're hanging around the opposite sex. But if you know their relationship, like if I met the girl and when I met her, she was always with these people and I saw her with these people, and like I said, I see her in a regular element, cool. But if we start dating in January and then March you got 5 new partners that are all males, I'm be like, where these niggas come from? Like, why I ain't never met them? You feel me? How you doing? I'm cute. Nice to meet you. All right, for sure. If I, you know what I'm saying? Like when I meet her and I can see like, okay, like she just has male friends. Like she hangs out or she's closer to males, more close to males than females. I respect it. But if they just start popping up, like, nah, this ain't right. Somebody's lying. Somebody's lying. You feel me?
I was gonna ask you, Tosh, would that bother you? Like if you dated a man and all his friends were women?
All of them? Like,
like he had a lot of like cis friends.
I have been the friend knowing full well that we have been more than the homie. So I don't know if I trust that all the way. But I mean, honestly, even if there was a sexual relationship at some point, like I know me, like I've always been respectful, and that's a big part of why I just kind of go with it, because we might have had something back in the day, we might have had something in the past, but we ain't got nothing today. You can't get it today, and that's what matters to me, and I'm sure that's probably what matters to her.
See, I'm some people might call it petty. I don't even care about what's happening present day. I want to know, like, because I'm an overthinker, and I analyze and I overthink. So I don't even care if he couldn't get it today, but if he got it in the past. I dated somebody in college, and he did have a lot of female friends in the beginning, and that was fine. But then he had all these different female friends. Like, where did she come from? Okay, where did she come from? And I didn't think of any of them as competition, but then I caught myself like, I'm not jealous, but at the same time, like, I'm funny. I'm fun to do stuff with. Like, why does he have so many female friends? Like, why would he want to hang out with these random girls that he just randomly made friendships with when I'm his girl at home? Like, being jealous, it is weird because it's like, look, did he try to talk to you and you said no? Like,
yeah, I have a lot of guy friendships that ended up like that. If I was with it, it probably could have gone somewhere, but I drew the line, so we still just homies. But does that make a difference if they were interested at one point, but nothing still ever happened?
I think it just depends on your relationship. Like me personally, anybody that I've dealt with, dated in the past,
Mm-hmm.
I even if we stop talking, they're not gonna become sis or my cousin, or they ain't gonna be a family member. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? If we go somewhere, they be like, "Oh, hey, Q, this is my friend. Remember I was telling y'all about my cousin Q? Like, it's you. We ain't cousins. What you talking about? You lied to me. You lied to her. No, we ain't cousins. We ain't cousins. We not kinfolk." I do think also, I feel like you can deal with a person and y'all deal whatever y'all did, and y'all can still be cool, and sex doesn't have to be involved later. Y'all can still respect each other, this and that. But again, it depends on the person, because some people could be petty and they'll do whatever. They will do whatever.
Agreed.
so what if you're on vacation with your girl and she either never posted or she posts and makes it look like she's by herself?
Oh, we ain't, no, you not by yourself. You is not by yourself. Now let me stop. 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 I wouldn't trip, but I guess it's like, I also know there are some times where women will do that purposely, not even for the dude, like to try to impress other women or make other dudes feel bad. They ex feel bad. Like, I'm on a date with this invisible nigga, and y'all don't know y'all don't know who he is. You feel me? I'm out with Ghost Dad. I'm on vacation with Ghost Dad, and y'all don't know who it is, but he's here. Um, I think it's all about angles. Ain't it about angles and photos? So like, if the angle looks like she's trying to keep me out, every photo it just look like no, it was a fork and a spoon on that table. Why the fork just in the photo? Like, I wouldn't trip. I'm a private person anyway, so I'm a private person myself, so I wouldn't trip.
So what does it take for you? At what stage in the game do you feel comfortable posting somebody on social media that you are dating, getting to know, in a relationship with, whatever that stage may be?
I don't really have like a certain time period or where it's like, oh, it's been 6 months. Like, I could post you now.
Healing.
Yeah, it's just feeling. It's just feeling and vibe. Like, again, I'm a private person, so not even just relationship. A lot of stuff that I don't post, or I'll be choosy of how I post it. Um, Sometimes when you post somebody, it can make the relationship even stickier, because now it's like people are like, oh, they're together. So now dudes that might not like you, but they like your girl, they'll just try to hit your girl just because they know it's you. And women know the guy is dating you, so they're like, I'm gonna get Tasha's dude because I just want Tasha's dude for whatever reason.
You will never know who Tasha's dude is. So no, you won't.
Sometimes it could be a protection thing for some people if they don't post it, but for me, I don't think it's a certain time. Like, it's just feeling and vibe.
Yeah, that's why I'm not into that. Every time I've done that, like, and I haven't done that since I was probably like 22. But that was a painful lesson. That's why I ain't done it anymore ever since then. Like we're gonna have to have some permanent
Wait,
things going on.
Tasha, so are you gonna do this thing that I've seen women do, where like they
Not
put
the
a
emoji.
picture with a guy and then they like Photoshop out his head?
No. You just don't need to see the pictures with us. Like,
Girl,
just
I see that.
you
I'm
really
like,
exist in the world, but mind your business. Mind your business.
How do y'all feel about women who take pictures with the guy, but they put the emoji head over his
I
face?
think that's extra.
I mean, look, it depends. Does he do something that you don't want him on the internet? Because I understand.
I mean, then don't post the picture. I don't understand that. I mean, like, I don't want somebody to know I got somebody so bad that I'm gonna post a picture and just put an emoji over his head to just let you know, because that's the purpose of it. Let you know that I got somebody.
I agree. It just be funny to me sometimes because it'd be like the whole dude, and then it's just like the emoji over the head. I'm like, girl, I know that's Darnell. I can see tattoos.
Not
Like,
Darnell, child.
that's Darnell.
If he's like on parole, I don't know. I mean, there's a situation.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Even
like,
more of a reason not to post the picture though, at all.
I mean, I might post it on my. I would be more likely to post on like my close friends story,
yeah,
and be like, you know, the people
I
that
don't
are
even operate that thing. That's funny.
But I'm private, so I'm probably not gonna. But I mean, like, I would want people to know that I'm with somebody.
Okay, so I think I'm more along the lines of if I'm going to post something, it'll be like our feet in the sand at the beach. Even I have to go on Photoshop or an app to like add some shit to just to make you like not be there. Like that's too much work for me. Like I'm just not going to post it. You know, that's just going to be a us photo. You know what I mean? And I don't feel like I've ever felt pressed enough to have to present to the world I'm with this person or I have a man. So I don't care. That's a lot of work to go through. It's a lot of editing. I don't want to do it.
Have you guys ever been with somebody or dated somebody that wanted you to post them?
I think I dated someone that I feel like that might have been his goal.
Yeah. I've dated people that I was like, I dated somebody that like the first time that he came to see me, he was like, we were out doing something and he was like, oh, hold on, like we take our picture. And I was like, and I'm like, what are you going to do with that picture? Again, I'm a very private person. I don't even want people to know where I'm at. Like, I don't even post when I'm with my family type situation. So I was like, you know, I didn't want to be rude about it, but I was like, please don't post that picture.
Right. No, I respect that for sure.
Last question, because we got little sidebars. Okay, so I had to run this one back because I still have some questions lingering from previous episodes, and I need a different perspective. So, if your girlfriend doesn't follow you and doesn't want you to follow her on social media, is that a red flag? You both have it, but you don't follow each other, and she don't want you to follow her, and she's private, so you can't see nothing.
I wouldn't care if she follows me or not, but I'd ask a question like, not even because I'm really big on social media about following people, but I would just ask off curiosity, like, well, why don't you want me to follow you?
Right.
That would be my only question. Like, what you trying to hide? Like, you know what I'm saying? If she said that, but if she wasn't following me, no, I'm not gonna come to the house and be like, ain't this some shit? Like, I just checked my timeline and you ain't following me. That's some bullshit. Like, all your friends following me, but you ain't. And we supposed to be an item. This some bullshit. We ain't gonna work. Nah, like, I don't see myself doing that. Social media, I feel like social media messes up over 50% of the relationships nowadays.
I don't disagree.
Probably 90, but I'm gonna just say 50. But it can mess up a lot of things because I feel like, let me take that back. Social media doesn't mess it up. People on social media mess their own relationships up because of how they use it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like, it's all about the user. How are you utilizing these platforms? What are you doing on these platforms that you know everybody can see you doing on these platforms?
Right. And, you know, I've seen situations where people dating, somebody gets posted, somebody else who's dating that person at the same time, comments under the pictures, and now ain't nobody happy. You just got to be careful, man. Like I feel like that's why communication is so important in a relationship. And really knowing the person, because a lot of times we as people, we get with somebody and we might like them for one or two things, and that's it. And we don't really know them. And then later on, we start seeing this and this, and we like, oh, you're not the person that I thought you were. It's like you never really knew the person to begin with. So, what can you expect?
I learned my lesson a long time ago. Like when Facebook first put like the in a relationship with, woo, all the little messages I got. I was like, oh, I'm so embarrassed. Ooh, learn my lesson. We won't do that never again in life. And I think that's where I was traumatized. Like traumatized.
I did that one time just to see what responses I would get.
And I'm sure you got all the messages.
So that's your little friend, or who your little friend that you're in a relationship with, one of them. Yeah, it's always a little friend. It's never a big friend. So that's your little friend.
Wait, actually, I'm triggered. I remember my last relationship that I was in was too long ago to count. And with my boyfriend in college, and we broke up. I'm loyal to a fault. So mine was in a relationship until he was like, I don't want you. I was like, okay, well, like that's my man. So I kept in a relationship and my status was gone because, back then, like if you were in a relationship with somebody and they made it single, then I was single too. So he put his as single and this girl liked it. And we were friends at the time. And it turned out that was the girl that he had been cheating on me with. So I saw that she liked the status and I was like, oh, this bitch really wants to get beat up.
Oh, so she was being petty.
She was being petty. And like I was just like, why would you post that? And then I saw that she was the only person that liked it. I'm like, huh? And at first I was like, was this a mistake? Like, is she dumb? But then, yeah, so.
I had a guy do that to me one time.
Oh.
Like on Instagram. I liked a picture of this girl that I know. And 30 seconds later, I get a like on my comment. And I'm like, looking like, I don't know this nigga. Who is it? Like, long story short, the girl hit me back like maybe later that day. She was like, hey, my dude, that was my dude that I'm like, man, y'all need to get y'all shit together because I ain't no drama. I'm not trying to start nothing. And it just made the dude look kind of corny to me and like a lame, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's corny. Like, get your girl. Like, why, what do you think? Like, I didn't have anything to do with that, but then you felt the need to check me.
Yeah, like I've had that happen. I've had a dude call me 3 o'clock in the morning, ask me if I knew his girlfriend. Like, no, nigga, I'm trying to go to sleep. No. Even if I did know her, no, not right now. I don't know. That's another reason I try to be private too, because the less people know, the less they can interfere with.
It's okay. So I will say this because I do think it's like a double-edged sword. Like it could be a pain in the ass on one end, but it could be helpful because you might be out here looking stupid on the other end. Because throw this back a little bit farther, as if we didn't throw back far enough. So when we put the in relationship with each other on Facebook, when that feature first came out back in the day, he was in a relationship with me on Facebook. Because remember, back in the day, you had to be in college and have a college like email to be on Facebook at that point. But on MySpace, everybody could be on MySpace. So he's just in a relationship on MySpace, but he's in a relationship with me on Facebook. So I didn't know. I thought I was being great on both platforms whole time. He's with her on this platform and with me on this platform. And he has such different friends that he's living 2 separate lives that shit just took a little second to connect. Ain't that crazy? So it can save you and it can hurt you. It's strange.
I agree.
So now we've come to me and Dev's, I don't want to say like favorite because you don't look that happy about this part of the show, but we're turning the tables.
Okay.
And you get to ask us a question that we both must answer.
Just one.
Yeah.
Listen,
every episode.
We've had some dumb questions. I mean, we've had some real dumb questions, but the first question, no matter what the question is, the first question is always, okay, is it one question? Okay, I have like a 6-part question directed just towards Tasha. And I'm like, what? But
I just got one question. I just wanted to make sure. I was prepared for this. If you guys met the perfect man for you, you felt that they had everything, wants and needs, what is one thing out of all the characteristics that you yourself see as being the perfect man for you? What's one characteristic that you could go without? So is there anything like, is there a characteristic, a trait? And I'm talking about, so you got the perfect person that they have all of these things, but it's one of those things that you got to remove, whether it's good sex, somebody that's good at communicating, looks good, whatever it is.
Looks. Mine is looks for sure. That was easy because I think that if somebody's driven, they may laugh, they have a personality, we click, we communicate, they are on a successful path that I know will match me. I don't care if everybody else thinks that he looks like trash. If I'm attracted to him in all those ways, then I could care less if he was as fat as that girl from Hardee's. I don't even care. I don't even care. That's me. That was easy.
All right, for sure. I hope, man.
Gosh, that's funny.
I should have took a picture. I wish I could have seen the future and I knew we was gonna do this tonight, because I would have took a picture. I would have took the Hardee's window picture, and then I would have took the full body size picture, and I would say, all right,
What I wanted and what I got.
Would y'all stay or would y'all pretend one of your?
That's tough. I agree with Devin though. What she said, forget that shallow stuff. Like, especially at this age, like, it's so hard to find quality people, like, who are honest, reliable, transparent, who want the same thing, like, want stability, want to settle down. Like, that's a challenge. And I don't think I ever imagined that dating would be this difficult at this point, but it's some trash. So I could do without the looks. Like, listen, few of my boyfriends ain't been some lookers, but they were other things. They were what I needed them to be. And it was cool. And I feel like that's something that you can grow to be. Like, you can grow to be attracted. They may not be attracted to other people, but forget them. Who even cares? Like, you're the one that has to be with them and all that kind of stuff. So I feel like my attraction for people physically has grown when everything else is in place, and I feel like confident in every other area. Like, it's made me more attracted to them physically. So that's not ever been like the highest thing on the totem pole. So yeah, I agree with Devin.
I do want to say though, I'm very picky. So like, you don't need to be somebody that would walk down the street and women would say, oh, he's sexy. But I'm very clean. So like, I want you to be clean. I want you to be clean in how you dress. I want you to be, you know what I mean? Take care of yourself, hygiene. But I mean, if you take care of yourself, if you keep up with your hygiene and your appearance, then I'm going to hype you up. You're going to think that you're the best looking person in the room, period. But I don't need you to really be.
Just need you to think it and feel it.
You'll think it, but so
Is it a difference? Is a difference of he doesn't have to be the best looking, or what if he's just hideous? Like, have you ever had an ugly boyfriend? Like, where you like, I love my boyfriend. I know this nigga ugly, but I love him though.
Have you ever seen a hideous man that dresses good, that gets haircuts? Because I have, and I probably dated them.
Listen,
and they probably treated me like trash because they thought they were cute because they.
Right.
Am I wrong, Tasha?
No, you're right on. Hit the nail straight on the head, for real. I think beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Like, my sister will swear up and down that a few of my boyfriends been ugly, but I was like, but he was cute though. She was like, ma'am, he was not. Boy, he was cute to me. I guess that's what mattered. I don't know.
I can respect that though. I can respect that.
I don't know. What works for you may not work for everybody, you know, but hideous. Now I'm just like, I think of like a hygiene thing, like with hideous, or like being sloppy or like not put together. That's a turn off. You know, some things are fixable. Some things are not.
As long as they're clean, as long as they're well kept.
Yes.
If they, are presentable.
Yeah. Cool. For sure.
Yeah.
What's importante?
No, I agree. I'm the same way. Like, of course, I like somebody that's attractive to me, but they don't have to. All right, this don't sound funny. I probably would be mad though if I was with somebody and nobody else thought they were attractive. Like, some guys get mad when other dudes look at their woman. I'm like, nah, I'd be mad if we went somewhere and nobody was looking at you like this.
Ooh.
Damn, don't nobody else want you? I'm the only one want you.
Ooh. Shit.
You know, that ain't cool. Nah, but you know, like I feel like that's a compliment. Like honestly, if nobody looking, that might be bad though. If nobody looking, we might have to have a little sit down. We're gonna have to have a pep talk.
Not a pep talk.
I can see that from a man.
But I'm with y'all though. Like as long as I think as long as she's attractive to me and I like this woman, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I mean, if they do it for you, who else they need to do it for?
That's it.
Check my boxes. That's all I need. So why don't you let the people know where they can follow you on the internet?
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at TheTownGQ, TheTown. Again, I'm part of One Day Soon as well as Jamla Records. I do other things too. I just did a lyric book, writing a children's book, so I'm kind of like an author now. I'm kind of trying to be like you a little bit. Still doing personal basketball training with kids of all ages. So just try to keep my hands in a lot of different things. But I'll be putting out some new music with Ninth very soon. We're putting out a new project very soon.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want, we got t-shirts, books, like I said, other things we're working on. www.onedaysoon.ods.com. You could get everything there. And like I said, any other questions, the Town GQ, you could always find me.
Well, as always, we hope you enjoyed the conversation this week. Please give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button below. Also, be sure to download the app, which is Secrets of the Opposite Sex. Like, comment on the episode of the podcast. We'll continue this topic on the next episode, which will be our finale. We're going to bring back some of your favorites and have a little discussion about the hottest topics of this season. We'll see you soon.